Let's get serious, y'all.
Focus.
Okay. Ready? All right, good morning. My name is Ms. Gomez. I will be giving a speech on women in combat this morning. As you know, women in combat MOS has been a very hot topic over the last couple of years since we've been at war. People just trying to figure out should women be allowed in combat, should they not. So women are capable of many feats. However, a lot of female soldiers do not wish to be in combat roles because they may cause a negative impact in the missions. We're going to go over 3 topics today. We're going to discuss the history of women in the military, in the Army specifically. Next, we're going to go over mission impact. And finally, we're going to go over some statistics about women in combat roles. Much of the information I got today was based off of the history of the Women's Army Corps and based off of the Women's Readiness, the Female Soldier Readiness Guide, which both of them can be found online. Okay, first main point today is the history of the women in the Army. The first women that served in the military were civilians overseas that worked as contractors or civilians as dietitians and communication specialists. That was in World War I. In 1941, a congresswoman named Edith Norris introduced a bill to allow women to partake and be part of the Army, to establish the Women's Army Corps. There were approximately 1,000 positions and 35,000 women enlisted, or they were candidates to fill those 1,000 roles. Candidates had to be U.S. citizens between the ages of 21 and 45 with no dependents. They had to be a minimum of 5 feet tall, and they had to weigh at least 100 pounds. Black females and white females, they were taught together in classes, and they ate together in dining facilities, but other on-post facilities such as the PX, the beauty shop, the movie theaters, those were still segregated. Now that we've reviewed some of the history of the Army and how women became into the military, we're going to go on how women impact missions. There are various issues with women that men do not have. Some of those medical health concerns include menstruation, contraception, and unintended pregnancy. As you can assume, in an all-male unit, you don't have to worry about pregnancy. Now, when you put females into the mix of an all-male unit, then that becomes an impact on mission readiness. Because the female gets pregnant, you have to take her out of the fight. That lessens your unit's numbers. Second one would be sexual assault would increase when you add females into an all-male unit. The increase of sexual assault, sexual harassment, a hostile work environment, a quid pro quo environment goes up. Even though there is sexual assault in male units, however, when you add a female into that mix, it makes it a little bit higher. Female service members have double the risk of being a cold injury, being susceptible to cold injuries, and they have a double the rate of injury to the lower back and the lower extremities. So a lot of the physical aspects that males can do, females cannot, just based off of our physical capabilities with the lower center of gravity, the smaller lung capacity. All right, so we've discussed some of the issues that could affect mission readiness. We're going to go into current statistics. Out of 22,130 soldiers, 15% women comprise active duty, 20% of the reserve forces are female, 20% of National Guard is female, and 15% of active component are female soldiers. 130 women have died in OIF and in OEF. That would be our war in Iraq and our war in Afghanistan. Based off the soldiers that we have deployed in the past 10 years, 12% of veterans of the OIF and the OEF war are females, which is why the VA has increased their women's health programs across the country in their VA centers. The DoD polled 1,700 females, 100 female soldiers, and out of those 170,000 females, 13,000 said they would be willing to take combat jobs. And those 8% willing to take combat jobs said they would want to be in the 160th SOAR Aviation Unit. So we reviewed the history of women in the military, the mission impact that women bring into the fight when they're added to an all-male unit, and current statistics of women who would want to be in combat MOS. So women should be afforded the same opportunity as males in the military. However, they should not be afforded those opportunities if it causes a negative mission impact and lowers overall morale in a unit. That is my presentation for today.
Cool.